Welcome back, everyone, to Have More Babies.
Great to be here.
Today, we're jumping into a topic that pretty much every new parent faces: diapers.
Oh, yes. The big decision.
Cloth or disposable. It seems simple, but there's actually a lot to unpack, right? Budget, baby skin, the environment.
Absolutely. It touches on so many things. And we've been looking at some helpful info from Omega Pediatrics to guide us through it.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. You're expecting, you're planning, and then bam, the diaper dilemma.
You've basically got those two main paths. Disposable, which is, what most people probably think of first.
The standard choice for decades, really.
Right? And then cloth diapers, which are actually seeing a bit of a resurgence.
It feels like a trend, but they're not new, are they?
Not at all. Cloth is the original, actually. People sometimes forget that. They've just gotten a major upgrade.
Right. Omega Pediatrics mentions they're way more practical now. And stylish.
Believe it or not, yes. They come in cute prints and designs, not just plain white squares anymore.
So they look good, but what about the practical stuff? Let's start with cloth. Omega Pediatrics points to cost as a big pro.
It is, but it's a long-term saving. There's an upfront cost, definitely. Omega Pediatrics estimates, maybe $500, $800 for a full set?
Oof. That sounds like a lot when you're buying cribs and car seats and everything else.
It does give you pause. But that set is meant to last from birth right through to potty training.
Because you wash and reuse them.
Exactly. They're made to be durable materials like cotton, hemp. They can handle hundreds of washes, so you buy them once, basically.
Instead of buying packs every week. Okay, I see the appeal there. What about for the baby? Omega Pediatrics says they're skin-friendly.
That's a huge draw for many parents. Think about it: soft, often organic materials right against the baby's skin.
Less exposure to chemicals you might find in disposables.
Precisely. Which can mean fewer rashes, less irritation, just generally softer and maybe more comfortable.
Fewer sore bottoms is always good news. But the cleaning, that's the big hurdle I always hear about with cloth.
It's a classic concern, yeah. And Omega Pediatrics tackles this. It's not quite the ordeal it used to be.
So I don't need a giant soaking pail and rubber gloves.
Not necessarily. Many are designed for machine washing. Easy care fabrics. You still have to deal with the contents, obviously.
Right, can't avoid that.
But it's often simpler than people imagine. Plus, think about this. Omega Pediatrics points out you don't have those panic moments running out of diapers.
Oh, the midnight diaper run. Yes. Avoid that. Big plus.
You buy your set, and you're generally good to go. Less stress during the weekly shop.
And Omega Pediatrics also mentioned the variety, like lots of choices within cloth itself.
Yeah, the market's exploded.
Yep.
Different sizes, fits, closure type snaps, Velcro-like stuff, newborn sizes, bigger sizes, lots of options.
And the environmental angle is pretty obvious. Reusing is better than throwing away, right?
Massively better. You're diverting thousands of diapers per child from landfill. It's a significant impact if that's a priority for you.
Okay, so those are some strong points for cloth. But let's be real, it's not all easy, is it? What are the downsides Omega Pediatrics highlights?
Well, the work factor is real. Even if it's easier than it used to be, washing diapers is still an extra chore.
More laundry, constantly.
Yep. And you're handling soiled items directly. Omega Pediatrics also mentions that, sometimes stains happen, even with good washing.
Right. They might not stay pristine forever. And I've heard they can be bulky.
They can be thicker than disposables, yeah, which might affect how some baby clothes fit over them. Something to consider.
Okay. And that upfront cost we mentioned, even if it saves money later, it's still a big initial hit.
Definitely. Omega Pediatrics flags that as a potential barrier.
And it might just not be practical for everyone's situation, like if you don't have your own washing machine.
Exactly. Or if you're just, incredibly busy and short on time and energy, the convenience of disposables might just win out. Which brings us to them.
Right. Disposable diapers. The default for many. Omega Pediatrics notes they're the most common choice.
And the number one reason is convenience. Pure and simple.
Use it, wrap it up, toss it. Done. No washing involved.
It's a huge time saver, especially in those chaotic early days. And Omega Pediatrics points out how easy they are to find.
Everywhere. Supermarkets, corner stores, pharmacies. You're never far from a pack.
Which is also great for travel, like Omega Pediatrics mentions. Dealing with dirty cloth diapers on a road trip. Not ideal for most.
True. Disposables are just easier when you're out and about. Pack them in, toss them out.
And they've gotten pretty sleek, haven't they? Omega Pediatrics notes they're often thinner now. Fit well under clothes.
Yeah, less bulky than cloth often. And those little sticky tabs have gotten really good.
The user-friendliness has improved loads. Those adhesive tabs make getting good fit much easier. And Omega Pediatrics talks about the material's absorbent cores, plastics to prevent leaks.
Those little elastic bits around the legs, too, to stop leaks.
Right, the elastic garters, all designed for containment and allowing movement. And again, the big pro, no extra laundry.
Saves so much time, but convenience isn't free. Omega Pediatrics mentions the cost.
Yeah, the flip side of cloth. While cloth has the upfront cost, disposables have the ongoing cost. Omega Pediatrics estimates it could be around $2,000 total per child until potty training.
Wow, that really adds up over 2 or 3 years.
It absolutely does. And then there's the baby's skin again. Omega Pediatrics suggests disposables can be more irritating for some babies.
Because of the chemicals and materials used?
Potentially, yes. Some babies are more sensitive, might get more rashes, needing more barrier creams or lotions.
Okay. And the environmental impact we touched on earlier, it's pretty significant with disposables.
Huge. Omega Pediatrics emphasizes this. Single-use items generate enormous amounts of waste. They're bulky in landfills and take, well, ages to break down because of the plastics. Hundreds of years, maybe?
So not very eco-friendly at all.
Definitely not. So when you're trying to decide, Omega Pediatrics suggests weighing these key factors.
Cost. Long-term win for cloth, short-term hit. Disposables cost more over time.
Convenience. Clear win for disposables. Cloth requires more effort.
Health. Cloth might be better if you're worried about chemicals or have a sensitive baby, as Omega Pediatrics notes.
Lifestyle.
Yeah.
Busy. Travel a lot. Disposables might fit better. Got time and laundry access. Cloth is more viable.
And environment. Cloth is the greener choice, hands down.
But Omega Pediatrics really stresses there's no single right answer here. It's about your family, your priorities.
And some people mix and match, right? Use both.
Totally. Maybe cloth at home, disposables when out. That hybrid approach works for a lot of families.
Makes sense. If you do go the cloth route, Omega Pediatrics has some practical tips, like get a good diaper pail.
Yes, one with a tight lid helps manage odors significantly.
Good tip. And maybe switch to cloth wipes, too, to cut down even more waste.
That's another suggestion, yeah. And dealing with the solids, Omega Pediatrics recommends a diaper sprayer. Hooks up to the toilet. Makes rinsing easier before washing.
Okay, good tools help, and follow the washing instructions.
Definitely. Each brand might have slightly different recommendations to keep the diapers working well and lasting longer.
And when you're actually picking cloth diapers, what should you look for? Omega Pediatrics mentions fit.
Crucial. You want a snug fit to prevent leaks, but comfy. Look for adjustable snaps or closures. Good elastic.
Material matters too, especially for sensitive skin.
Yep. Cotton, bamboo, hemp, synthetics. They all have different properties. Absorbency levels, drying times. Consider your baby's skin.
And absorbency itself is key, obviously. Need enough layers or inserts.
Absolutely. You want it to hold enough to last between changes.
Yeah.
And ease of use. How easy is it to put on a wriggly baby?
Especially at 3 a.m.
Exactly. And finally, durability. Omega Pediatrics says look for quality construction since they'll be washed so often.
Okay, that's super helpful on the practical side. But Omega Pediatrics also brought up something interesting, the emotional connection.
Yeah, it's not always just a logical choice. Sometimes it's about what feels familiar or right.
Like if you used a certain brand with your first baby and trusted it.
Exactly. That trust and familiarity can create a real attachment. Or, Omega Pediatrics notes, cultural norms might play a part. Traditional views on baby care.
And personal values, like that strong environmental commitment pushing you towards cloth.
All those things weave into the decision. It's personal.
So wrapping it all up, Omega Pediatrics basically says it comes down to what fits your life, your budget, your values.
Pretty much. Both do the job. It's about finding the best fit for your household.
And if you're still figuring it out or just want more guidance on this or anything else about newborns, Omega Pediatrics is a really great place to look.
They really aim to support parents in making informed choices that work for them.
It's about weighing what matters most to you, the cost saving, the convenience, the eco-impact, the feel on baby's skin.
You figure out your priorities and the choice becomes clearer.
Well, thanks for exploring this with us. It's a big decision, but hopefully this helps you weigh the options. For loads more detail and support on diapers, newborn care, and everything in between, definitely check out omegapediatrics.com.
That's omegapediatrics.com, a fantastic resource.
And hey, if this chat was useful, please give the video a like.
And subscribe to the channel for more chats like this. Maybe share it with friends who are expecting or have little ones.
Help spread the word. Goodbye for now, and good luck with your decision.
Take care. Until next time.